reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? The Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, this is Jamie from Green River Ordnance. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary here on the Lone Star Community Radio. I'm your host, Douglas B., along with my co-host, Dangerous Dan, the Muffin Man.
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody. We bring you all the news fit to compensate for yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, you can listen to us live the first Tuesday of every month here on the Lone Star Community Radio Station, Conroe's very own FM 106.1 and 104.5. Of course, you can listen to us live on Facebook Live at facebook.com/VeteransAir. And guess what? Today, we're going out live on YouTube Live. Hello, everybody in YouTube land. You can watch us on our YouTube channel, Veterans Air, of course. And of course, you can always listen to us on the Lone Star Community Radio and on the Lone Star Community Radio app. So go ahead and get it. Yes.
How do they find us on the YouTube Live?
They go to youtube.com/VeteransAir.
All right.
And they'll find us. Have you ever been to our YouTube channel?
No.
I think I'm the only one that goes to our YouTube channel. As always, we have to do a little housekeeping before we get started. You can contact Veterans Air through our website, www.VeteransAir.us. Leave us a message, or better yet, why don't you text us in the studio on our Google phone. Phone number is 936-344-3083.
That's right. Use it and abuse it.
It is. Yeah, I love getting texts, and it gives me something to talk about. Today's show, we're going to talk about Karen, or Charon, or Charon, however you want to pronounce it. And as you probably know, he was the ferryman who transported souls from the living world across the river Styx to the underworld. And the price for this travel was a gold coin. That's what we're going to talk about today. Some of you might call this paying your income tax, because it's very close related,
Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft. I agree that. There have been some changes this year, and they affect you. If you're listening to me, you're a veteran, or you know a veteran, or you're military, and this is why you're listening to me. This affects you. In the studio with us, we have Stephen Zogal, who's the founder and CEO of AccountingWise LLC, and he's going to help us understand these changes and what we need to pay attention to. If you have questions during this show, the phone number is 936-344-3083. Text them to us. Now, before we get started with your income tax, because a lot of people haven't done them like me, have you done your income tax?
I have, yeah.
You suck.
I like.
Can I say suck on the radio? Dick says I can say that. So if you're like me, this is going to be an important show, but we do need to get to some things before we get into that. Need to do a shout out, and of course, we need to do a sick call before we end the show, because we have some sick people out there. But I want to give a huge, big shout out to Evan and Mike of SAP Home Repair. Guys, you said you were going to listen to me today, so I gave you a shout out. These guys went above and beyond to help me out. They're a plumbing company. They dug up my front lawn, they found the leak, and they repaired the leak, and they filled back in the hole. And these guys were muddy. I was losing like a quarter gallon of water a minute. But they came out to help me out. They went above and beyond, so I want to give them a big shout out. SAP Home Repair, ask for Evan or Mike. I also want to give a big shout out to Bobby Messer of the BMW in the Woodlands. Bobby helped me out, and I'm not even a BMW driver. That's right. I drive a RAV4. But I was told to go down there and get service, and I was wrong. Bobby gave me a cup of coffee, found out where I needed to go, and set me all up. Bobby, thank you. Above and beyond, this is customer service. And as you know, we like to give shout outs to people that give good customer service here in the Montgomery County area. Please excuse me, I am still recovering from bronchitis. If you're paying attention to Facebook, you know that I think it's an alien virus that has been implanted in my body by the NSA. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show. I'm glad you came up.
Thank you very much.
I'm kind of excited. I got a little bio for Stephen. So here's his bio. Stephen Zogal is the founder and CEO of AccountingWise LLC. He is a music education major from 2006 to 2008. And when in 2009, he decided to join the Air Force, of all things. He was assigned to Dreyfus Air Force Base in Abilene. I've been there. It's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of desert.
It's just a bunch of desert out in Abilene. But he was assigned out there to the 7th Comptroller Squadron, the accounting office, from 2010 to 2013. And after that, he retired to Arkansas, and he started a company called Z Bookkeeping, which he ran from 2013 through 17. And he grew that business by over 800%, leading a 2,086% revenue change. Wow, that's a bunch of money.
It was big change.
That's hustling. In 2015, 2016, he was an account for a multiple multi-million-dollar firms. He sold the business, got bored, decided he was going to start another one, and he developed an accounting app for mobile platforms for Apple and Android systems. Outstanding. We love Android. We don't do Apple here. Apple sucks.
Hey, look, it's available on Android right now, so.
Oh, you got to give a shout out to it.
Absolutely.
You can make sure you get a link on the site for it.
I use Apple for work, Doug, and I hate it. Apple Maps is garbage.
That's right. Android rules. We don't like Apple here because when I submitted my first Apple app, they came back and told me my programming was substandard. So we don't. What are you laughing at over there, Dick? I don't do substandard.
I feel like that's what you get on a result of a lot of your reports.
You're not in
I'm just kidding, Douglas.
the only boat. We've been having some trouble with Apple as well, but we'll get through it. Should be released here in about 2-3 weeks on the Apple Services platform. So.
Yeah, Apple. Miss Steve Jobs.
He's not alive anymore, Doug.
I know. That's why I said I miss Steve Jobs. I liked Steve. He was okay. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I want to thank you first for your service to this country. And I want to thank you again for helping out as veterans. We
Thank
need
you.
it. Even though you are Air Force. But we'll still consider you a veteran.
Some days we just got to sit in a chair and, do our things.
That's right. I understand going to the field involves a 4-star hotel for the Air Force. Tanya,
5-star.
we love you.
So what got you into accounting?
Okay, so originally I had went into the Air Force as a firefighter. Recruiter called me up. He said, "Hey, we got somebody who broke a leg. You want to go in?" At that point, it was an 8-month wait to get shipped off to basic, and I said, "Sure, why not?" Well, I ended up getting injured doing firefighter stuff, and my colonel, he liked me enough. He said, "We can either discharge you right now, or we can put you somewhere where you're comfortable." Well, I ended up in accounting.
Outstanding. Someone's got to do it. My idea of doing my taxes, by the way, is to put everything in a box. And in March, I take that box, I sit on top of my father's urn. He was a CPA also, and wait for him to do the taxes. That hasn't worked out very well for me, I want to say.
You might be getting
Sometimes you just got to submit those prayers.
If the IRS is listening, no, I really do my taxes every year, IRS. I do, promise.
Don't audit me, please.
I'm going to hurt you here on the air. So you went from music major
Yes, sir.
to a firefighter to an accountant.
Yes, sir. It's very odd.
That
But ever since I've been doing accounting, I've stuck with it, and it's been my niche.
that's outstanding. I like to see, and I really do like small businesses, and don't be insulted. I know you're a multimillionaire now, but don't be insulted. Small businesses that understand what customer service is, that's near and dear to my heart. Veteran-owned businesses are even more so. So I like it when I find people and companies like you that say, hey, I'm out here, I'm willing to help, and I like to advertise you guys. And I said when I first started talking to Steve to get him on the show, I said, hey, can you send me a list of questions so that we'll have ready-made answers so it's like we have an actual smooth show and I know what I'm talking about? And
Absolutely.
he did. But, and I was very surprised at this because not only did he give me the questions, but he gave me the answers with the cited publications from the IRS for them. And these are available on our website. You go to the day's show and you'll find his bio and the questions and the answers so you can look them up for yourself. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Well, you know, I'm a fan of regulation and
Rules rule your life. Some
Right.
rules are made to be broken, some aren't.
Hey, sometimes we just need to find the rules for ourselves, just, you know, so it's not secondhand.
Well, you know, I've said this and I preach this to my daughter all growing up that knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
If you have more knowledge than the other person, then you can make the decisions that they can't. That's what makes leadership, knowledge. Knowledge
right.
is power. Unless you're a Marine, then it's crayons.
Hey, sometimes they're just tasty.
Dick's over here rubbing his face going, they're going to shut me down. The Marines are going to come over here. And
No, I feel like I'm in a stand-up of Douglas B's stand-up hour. You just keep hitting it.
He told me purple is his favorite flavor.
purple is my favorite flavor. It is. It smells like the color 9.
It smells like the color.
All right, first question. And this affects probably a very wide part of veterans out there,
Absolutely.
especially veterans with disabilities. Is Social Security taxable? Because I've heard it both ways.
I have two.
Well, and, you know, everything is just hearsay until, you know, you actually get out there and you read it for yourself of what, you know, needs to happen with IRS, especially with IRS. I mean, things change every year. Social Security is taxable if your benefits total. So you take your Social Security. Let's say if you get 10,000 Social Security, you divide that by half. That's 5,000. Okay. Plus all your other income. So if that 5,000 that's taxable from Social Security plus your other taxable income totals 25,000 if you are single, then yes, you're gonna have to file, and yes, it half of that will be taxable. Now, if you're married, filing separately, or you live apart from your spouse for that year, it's still 25,000. If you are married, filed jointly, it goes up to 32,000. So, if 32,000,
Hang on.
if you hit that mark,
Hang on.
go
So
ahead.
I'm collecting Social Security. I'm married, filing jointly. If I make over $32,000 outside of what I get from Social Security, then that Social Security becomes taxable?
It becomes taxable income. So yes.
Wow, that kind of sucks.
That definitely clarifies
Yeah.
it for me. I was thinking like if you made 32,000 with like out of Social Security, you had to pay taxes on it. Now I know.
So
The more you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Social Security, they're taxing Social Security. It's the tax on the money that you've already taxed. I like that. Way to go, America. I love it.
Well, you know, everything's taxed here.
Okay,
It's crazy.
Well, here's part 2 to that question. There's Social Security and there's Social Security disability.
Absolutely.
Same rules apply for Social Security disability?
Now, if you receive Social Security through the Social Security Administration, yes, same rules apply. Now, if you have VA disability, it becomes a different story because if it's service connected, it's not taxable income. And you shouldn't even be factoring it into the equation of trying to figure out if you have to file because you don't have to file on it.
See, I know guys that they're collecting Social Security disability and they're also collecting VA disability.
Yes, that is possible.
So he doesn't make.
But
they
the
don't
VA
make,
disability is not taxable, though.
but does that
Under no
factor? Does
circumstance.
that
If it's
factor into
service
it?
connected, if it's service disability connected. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
taxable.
would have to be in order to get VA disability.
But
it has to be
the
Social Security.
other that comes through has a 1099 on the SA forms, it's taxable if you make over a certain amount on other income.
Wow, I think I need to hire an accountant.
Could be,
You know any good ones?
myself.
Really? and exactly how would I get hold of you?
Well, you can get a hold of us on www.accountingwiseguy.com, and we have all the links out there. We also have Skypes. You can schedule meetings and things, etc. We also have an office down on Blaylock Road in Houston that you can schedule a conference there as well.
You've heard it here first, and I'm sure Dick has thrown up that lovely graphic that I made that has his contacts on it. And you can find his contacts on our archives page, or just look down on YouTube. You'll see them there on the bottom of YouTube. All right. So this actually happened to one of my veterans. Sold the VA home. Do they have to report that as gains?
Now, they don't have to report it as gains as long as they meet two of the rules that goes into that exclusion. So you can exclude the gains from your home if you meet the ownership and use test. So the use test basically just states, you have to have lived in the home for at least 2 years. The ownership test, you have to own the home for at least 2 years.
So everything.
So
paid
as long
off.
as you meet that, you can exclude up to $250,000 if you're filing single. If you're married filing joint, it's up to $500,000 in gains that you can exclude.
So that's like mortgage paid off and everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
defined ownership.
Yeah.
Well, defined ownership mortgage. If you have a mortgage or you own the title to your home, you actually own the home yourself. You're not renting, etc.
That's going to make a big difference to you when you leave out of here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Start a home,
When it
buy it,
happens.
sell it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you gain from the sale of your main home, you may be able to exclude up to $250,000 of that from your income tax. So
And that's a pretty big chunk.
that's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I've lived in my home for 19 years now. I'm going almost 20 years, though it's not worth $250,000.
We can dream.
Well, this is Conroe. This is why I moved here.
I've made more, Doug. Don't mean to brag.
You've made more?
No, definitely not.
I was going to say, and
Tell me your
and
secrets.
I paid for the muffins.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, look, I got a call coming in, but you know what? It's a number I don't recognize, so they're just going to have to wait and leave a message. It's okay. It's not from here. It's from Corpus. The only person that would be calling in from Corpus is Tanya. Hey, Tanya, I miss my boys. Give them a hug for me. VA disability, you said, is not taxable.
That's correct. If it's service-connected disabilities, so
And
Oh, is there-
service connected is defined how?
Damn, you're jumping all over me today. You're on it today. Did you have your Wheaties?
No, I just had a lot of coffee.
Oh, okay.
connected. So while you was in, let's say you developed sleep apnea, and now they're kicking you out. They're giving you the boot and saying that we have to retire you. Well, that's service connected because you got the disability while you was serving. And they'll actually tell you that too if you are in the service and you're on your way out the door and you have a service connected disability. They will actually tell you that.
Okay.
So, because he's going to Pueblo this week, right?
They're supposed to be calling me soon, maybe.
So now, the way VA disability works, and you guys need to pay attention to this. Each year, you get a letter from the VA, and that tells you what your disability rating is, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100%, permanent, whatever the case may be. But if you look at your paperwork, if you delve one level down to that, it'll tell you what your service-connected disabilities are and what that rating is. For example, I have a bunch of things wrong with me, as everybody knows, other than mental issues, because I am practically perfect in every way.
Absolutely.
Thank you, kiss to the dot. But if you look at the disability, For my neck, which is totally messed up, it is rated as a service-connected disability, 0 compensation. But it is service-connected disability, even though they didn't give, in my case, a disability rating for that particular injury. Everybody knows I'm a diabetic. The VA is treating my diabetes, but that is not service-connected. So you need to pay attention to what your disability comes in at to make that determination of what is service-connected disability and what is not. Because it is possible that you can be compensated and not be service-connected. Unless that letter specifically says service-connected, it's not. Did I say that right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Damn.
Hit it right on the money.
Now, there's a rumor going around, and I like to live my income tax knowledge by rumor. No, I'm kidding, IRS. Actually, you'll pay my taxes. Is there a time that you don't have to file income taxes?
There is a time that you don't have to file income taxes. For example, one of those times would be if you are 65 and under, okay? You're single or married, filed separately. If your income, if you only had $12,000, you don't need to file. Now, I will say this, if you had paid any time during that $12,000 federal withholding tax, you are able to get a refund for the amount that you paid. So let's say if you only made $10,000, but you paid the IRS $500 through federal withholding tax, I would suggest you file, because why are you going to be able to get that $500 back?
Wow.
Yep.
I heard this rumor. I don't know how true it is, but like the rest of this country, I like to get my news from Facebook. And if it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Dan isn't on Facebook.
No, they kicked me off Facebook.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they said.
Oh, you need to
dangerous.
get back on.
No, absolutely not.
Cause some more havoc.
You would think that they would kick me off.
Well, they said Dangerous Dan was not my real name, and they wanted me to give them my social security card and everything. And I'm just like, I think I'll just stay off Facebook.
You need to create one that says Rambo.
Rambo?
Yeah.
Think I could be a Rambo, Doug?
Supreme benevolent ruler is taken, so Rambo has to be your next thing.
All right.
Dangerous
It could be your middle name,
Oh, there you go.
Dangerous Rambo Dan.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah, I like the
I
sound
think
of that.
Dangerous Dan should be allowed. I mean, that is his moniker. That's what everybody knows him as.
I told them that, and they didn't seem to care much.
They
So-
just don't recognize the star you are. yet.
Right?
See, I believe that's true. I've heard that if you don't even pay an income tax, that it's possible to get a income tax return, even though you didn't pay anything in that year.
Even if you didn't, yes, it is possible. There are
Different type.
credits out there that you can take advantage of. Even people with dependents, if you have dependents, you can get a credit for that. So even if you didn't pay anything in, you can still get a tax return. Absolutely. As long as you met all the
So child
deductions
care
and
credits
credits
and having lots of kids credits and things like that.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
Dependents
Mom,
and
are you
stuff.
listening? File your income taxes. You might have a tax return coming up. That'd be great.
And we can always help them figure that out as well.
What happens if you haven't filed for a number of years, and then you decide you're going to file?
You could be up for an audit. You could get on the radar that way. However, if you don't need to file, and all of a sudden you have to, there's a reason for that, and you're not gonna get in trouble by the IRS. They're not gonna hold you to your nose and say, "Come along."
So it's better to file than not to file. So all you people out there that haven't filed, I will file. Stop looking at me in that tone of voice. I will file. Yeah, y'all need to get on the stick and call Stephen here and get your taxes up to date. You may not owe anything. So there's no reason not to file, especially if you may not owe anything, because you might actually get
Absolutely.
something back.
Absolutely.
You might have a credit.
Absolutely. Yeah, you might have a hidden credit out there that we could possibly find and dig up for you.
Oh, we definitely have to talk after the show.
Now, if you haven't filed for a while and you go to file, is there any way to like talk to the IRS and be like, "Hey guys, I haven't filed for a while"?
They do have a line out there.
Yeah.
I don't have the number off the top of my head. But they do have a line out there that you can call, 1-800 number. However, this tax season's been extremely busy for them. I mean, with everything that's been going on with the administration.
I can imagine.
Them shutting down the IRS. They shut it
Yeah,
down there for a little while. They went on strike. They didn't actually shut it down. A lot of people over there went on strike because they wasn't getting paid.
I was about to say, so they shut down all non-essential people, and the IRS was part of that? Non-essential people?
Show me the IRS in here. I work hard for my money. It's work hard for my money.
Well, it's always funny. We started a revolution to get away from tax, and here we are taxing.
If I decide to start a revolution, is that deductible? My cost for that?
I don't think they have a deductible for that.
So work expense, Doug?
I consider a work expense. Overthrow the government. It should be a work expense. So we have this radio program for. We pay for this. Is this tax deductible?
If it's business related, you can
Hey,
tax.
Darlene, guess what? My tax guy says that this is tax deductible. We don't pay for. I don't pay for this show. Our sponsor pays for the show.
Gotcha.
That's why we love her. That's why we give a shout out to her. EMW Financial every single month because she pays for this show.
There you go.
My clock says that we need to do news and traffic. Do we need to do news and traffic, Dick? No, he says we don't. Because I can do traffic for you. Do I do traffic? Coming from the Lone Star Community Radio Center, here's your traffic in downtown Conroe. People cannot drive. They can't stay in their lanes. Follow simple road rules or drive without texting. And be careful out there on the roads. And this is your road update from the Lone Star Community Network radio station. I can't speak today.
The Lone Star Radio Place.
Yeah, where we're at downtown. I love the new digs, by the way, Dick. I really do.
Thank you.
It's coming along good. We're going to start doing podcasts, people. Dick and I are trying to figure this out, how much it's going to cost, where we're going to do it, when we're going to do it. But we're going to do podcasts to expand this show since we only have an hour to do this in. So, back to taxes. Do I have any calls, any texts for taxes? No, nobody cares. Nobody loves you, Steve. It's because you're Air Force.
It must be because I'm Air Force.
Did you? Everybody watching? Do you notice he's wearing his little Air Force wings on him? I mean, that's pretty cool. We actually we like the Air Force here. One of our blue ribbon panel dysfunctional veterans is Air Force, and Lucas.
I like to
Lucas
think the whole Air Force is dysfunctional, but
Yeah, we have a blue ribbon panel of dysfunctional, disgruntled veterans, and we like to use them. Dan's one of them. He's dysfunctional. I'm just disgruntled.
Highly dysfunctional. Yeah.
I'm just disgruntled. I was going to say, because we still have a half hour, we can talk some more about IRS stuff. So let's talk a little bit more about IRS stuff, especially for veterans. Are there things that disabled veterans need to be putting on their income taxes, or rather taken off of their income taxes as deductions, other than just their VA disability and Social Security disability?
the standard deduction is already they've bumped it up this year, pretty high standard deduction of $12,000 for single, married filed jointly or qualifying widow it's $24,000, head of household is $18,000. So it's going to be pretty hard to get the itemized deductions to exceed that amount unless you just have high cost medical bills, high mortgage loan interest rates, student loans interest. You can deduct all that.
Student loans or
You can
tax
itemize it.
Really?
Interest for the student loans. You'll get a 1098 T form in the mail. They'll send it to you, and use that to itemize it.
And when you say itemize, you mean
Deduct.
gotcha.
Yeah.
George, I know you're listening. I know you're not listening now because you're in class, but you'll be listening tonight. George, your student loan interests are tax deductible. You need to be calling Stephen here and have your taxes done this year. Yes, he can do it remotely. She's all the way out in Lubbock. She's going going to graduate course in Texas Tech.
Okay.
Get your guns
Yeah.
up. Get your guns up. We like Texas Tech. They invented a technology that sniffs out IDEs. See, Texas
IDEs.
improvised explosive devices, IEDs.
Oh, gotcha.
Improvised explosive devices.
You
Why?
said-
What do you call them?
You said IDE.
I did.
Yeah,
Is that like an ICU?
I
I
don't.
thought it was EOD.
No, that's the people that blow them up.
Oh.
We have a bomb. We have a bomb tech. We have a bomb tech for this. I've started my own country, so we have our own bomb tech that does that. Did you know that you can't make landmines here in Texas?
Did not know that.
Yes,
but I
but-
would suspect that.
They fine you for that. We're going off, of course. Student loans, and a bunch of people have student loans. Usually not a veteran, because veterans were smart. We decided we're going to serve our country and save towards college. You partook in that in your GI Bill for college, did you not?
A little bit, yeah.
And I did too. Yes, I actually got my master's degree through the VA. Yeah, you wouldn't know I had a master's degree, would you? That shocks you, doesn't it?
No, I thought you went to clown school.
Clown school.
Well, that's still a degree program.
Yeah, I know.
It's still a degree program. No, actually, the VA pays for it. However, some of us did not follow the rules about kissing, because kissing causes pregnancy, and we have children, and these children have student loans, and their daddies sign for
Absolutely.
those student loans. So I never knew that student loan interest could be tax deductible.
It can be tax deductible. And they'll, like I said, they'll send you a form in the mail, 1098 T for tuition. And they'll show you the interest on which you can itemize on. So, but I mean, like I said, it's going to be very hard to exceed that standard deduction amount. It's going to be very hard. I mean, $12,000 if you're single, $24,000 if you're married, filing jointly. I mean, most of us,
That's a bunch of money. I mean, that's like half of the salary right there.
could be.
Yeah, it makes $48,000, somewhere about that. How much do you make?
It depends.
You make more than $1.50?
Sometimes.
Damn, Skippy.
But there are those cases that they do exceed that standard deduction. So if they exceed that standard deduction, that amount, let's say you had 14,000 of qualified standard deductions that you can take on, not the standard. If you have 14,000 deductions, that exceeds the 12,000. So you're going to go with the 14,000 that you deduct off of your taxable income. But I mean, you're going to have all those ducks in a row to get there, and we can help with that. We can help you sort through the fire on what you can deduct and what you are allowed to.
I'm going to put you on the hot seat here, Stephen.
Absolutely.
Here's the way that I do taxes, and I've been doing this since I started paying taxes when I was still a teen. I would save all my receipts and all my bills, and I'd put them in a bag. And then at the end of the year, I'd bring that bag to my father, who's a CPA, and say, I need this much amount of money back. And then he would do some sort of magic thing in his office and scream and yell and mumble and throw things and scream, coffee, I want coffee. And then he'd come out a week later and say, okay, here, sign this, and I'd get, some money back. What do people have to do? What do they have to bring to you for you to help them? What do you need?
So what we need is standard ID, driver's license, or federal ID, or your utility bill works as well, because it proves who you are. That's one. So we cut down on the fraud. We try to cut that out. The next thing we need your W-2s, your 1099s, your income. What are you bringing in to your home to put bread on the table? We're gonna need those tax forms, and we're gonna need either if you have any student loans, like I mentioned, 1098-T, or if you had a mortgage, your mortgage interest documentation from the bank showing the interest amount that you can deduct. Which a lot of us do have mortgages, and a lot of us have that interest that we can deduct off. So any itemized deductions that you want to take, we're going to need the documentation on that. And then we we put it all in, and we'll advise you on what needs to happen. Simple as that.
So here's the big question. Before your phone starts ringing, you taking new clients?
We are taking new clients.
That's outstanding. Hey, Dick, can you throw up his contact information graphic for me? Outstanding.
I've been running it.
Oh, you've been
It's
looping
been,
it?
it's been on.
Damn, you're like an engineer or something.
Magic hands.
He is. He runs that board really, really well. We're going to keep him around for a while. He does it good. Not as good as Ethan, of course, but, you're still good. Oh, hey, that reminds me, I forgot. Because we didn't do a break, and that makes me forget things. Let me get my legs so they operate. As we do normally here, we have muffins, and everyone gets a muffin because that's the way that we are here. And except for me, I don't get a muffin, I get a cookie. So y'all can choose your own muffins. We usually do this during breaks, but since we're not going on a break today, Dick says I don't have to. We can have muffins now. Dick, I got you a muffin, of course. That's the way.
I appreciate you.
Where am I at time? I see I have 20 minutes left? Yes. Good. We need to talk about hang around. You can't leave yet because we have to take a picture.
Absolutely.
Dick tells
all
me-
full pictures.
Yeah, Dick tells me that we have to take a picture, and we have not been doing that. But there's some things that I need to get to here, such as, sick call and happenings and things like that. Where did I have my sick call? I wrote it someplace, didn't I? I'm sure I did. Yes, I did. Here it is. Look at that. Sick call. Does everybody remember our good friend, Sailor Jerry? She's a singer-songwriter. She actually launched her career here on Veterans Air and the Lone Star Community Radio Station with her Veterans edition of Hallelujah. She has since produced an album. She's been traveling around doing shows and veteran causes, singing all over the place. I follow her, of course. She follows me. Excuse me. And recently, she got hurt. She was hit while she was going to a show, got T-boned really bad, destroyed the Durango, rolled it a couple of times with her in it. She wound up in a ditch. She's currently in the hospital. And if you would want to send her a get well card or flowers or something like that, you can send them to Sailor Song LLC at P.O. Box 402, Millicat, Minnesota 56353. And of course, I'll post that up on the website for you all. I just got this information last night. She has survived. She says that she feels like a bag of beep. See, I told you we need a beep button.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Every time we come in here, yeah, Dick's afraid that because of us, they're going to come and shut him down, which is a good possibility.
We work very hard to walk that line.
Well, I figure someone with a master's has
It's a very
some
thin
self-restraint.
I have no self-restraint.
On their
Have you seen the
language
love
use.
dot? I have no self-restraint.
That's true. I don't know why I keep talking.
I don't know, the ATF is going to shut us down any day now. I can see that happening. But anyway, back to Sailor Jerry. She's going to survive. She has to take a break from singing, songwriting, and traveling around because she does feel like a bag of beep. And her sister Jay said all of her equipment and all of her guitars were destroyed in the crash. If you go over to her website, SailorJerryMusic.com, you can buy a special edition T-shirt, and all of that for that will go to getting her new equipment, as opposed to the regular T-shirts that go to veterans causes and whatnot. Jerry, if you're listening, sweetie, I hope you get to feel better. If there's anything that we can do for you here at Veterans Air, you just let us know. That's really, really messed up. Sailor Jerry, to bring you up to speed, Steve, she's a sailor. She got out. So on a website, Facebook called Girls for Gunslingers, and this is an unofficial group that helps veterans and whatnot. And she was just goofing around with her guitar, and she came up with new lyrics for the song Hallelujah.
Oh, okay.
It became a viral sensation.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
And now she has a new album out that we played here. And as a matter of fact, we're ending with her song, aren't we, Dick? Yeah, we're ending with Sailor Jerry. We're ending with your song "Strong." So to be strong. And her career has just blossomed since she was on the show. Super, super nice woman. Even for a Navy squid, she is a super, super nice woman. And I hope that she recovers quickly. Things that are happening in Montgomery County in April. April 15th, you have to file your taxes. Dan, make sure I file my taxes, please.
Doug,
Either that or file an extension.
yeah, remind me to remind you.
I will remind Patriot. Remind Dan to remind me to remind you that we need to do our taxes. April 15th, your taxes need to be in, so you all better be calling Steve shortly, and you need to get hold of him before I do, because I think I'm in trouble. You're gonna be a problem child, Steve.
Oh, hey, you know what? We deal with a lot of problems. So we're
Do you
used
get
to
a
it.
veterans discount?
We do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a problem child. But seriously, 15th of April is tax day, so make sure you get your taxes in or file an extension, and you get hold of Steve. This month, the weekend of the 13th and 14th, is the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival. I said it right. And Dick, do you still have the station still have tickets
To the waterway?
to the art festival?
Yeah, right here.
Hey, check it out. The station, Lone Star Community Radio, does have free tickets,
Plenty of tickets.
plenty of tickets to the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival.
Yeah, they're gonna be
the
on tomorrow.
and they're gonna coming on tomorrow.
Yeah, on morning show. Yeah.
Y'all need to listen to
So-
this.
You'll win some tickets. We have plenty of tickets to give away. So if you're interested, contact Douglas on their social media for Veterans Air, and we'll hook you up.
Outstanding. Do you remember Face Cheyenne that we had here?
Yeah.
The other artist? Yeah, she's going to, I set her up with the people from the nice lady from the Woodlands, because she has art that she wants to sell too. So really, I wish I was going to be in town. Hopefully I'll be back by the 14th, and I'm going to go too. But if I don't, you need to take the girls.
I will. If they behave, they can leave the house.
Get some culture. Take the girls.
Behave is such a loose word.
I know.
Let's not forget that April 21st is Easter. And in case you're all wondering out there, yes, I do like chocolate bunnies, and I do have a preference for the black jelly beans.
That is gross. That's licorice, Doug.
Licorice is good for you. It's very healthy.
It's gross.
It happens to be very healthy.
It must be. It tastes bad.
I have 7 minutes. Good. The American Legion is taking donations for their upcoming community garage sale. And you can contact Post 411 at www.americanlegionconroe.org. Their community garage sale is going to be May 4th, but you need to get your donations in now. Again, it's americanlegionconroe.org, and make donations. We gave a whole bunch of stuff from the house, and this goes for a good cause. You know, the American Legion does a lot of things out here in the community. Let's support them and get them some donations for their community garage sale. And by the way, this year they've done something new, since they are up at the outlets of Conroe. That's where the Post meets now, in Suite 144. They are having the garage sale inside, rain or shine. And if you have a whole bunch of stuff that you want to do garage sale, you can even rent a booth and some tables from them for the community garage sale May 4th. Excuse me. There's my plug for the American Legion. Dan, do you want to give the shout out to EMW?
Yeah.
Giving our benefactors.
Yeah, we'll do the shut up before I forget. Veterans Air is made possible by the support of East Meets West Productions, full-service business and marketing consultants, helping vets start and fund their businesses for 25 years. For more information, call 361-904-0044.
Hey, that was really good.
Thank
you
you.
been practicing?
I have, yeah.
Hey, do you do bookkeeping?
We do bookkeeping. We do bookkeeping, payroll services, and everything from A to Z. So
Hey, Darlene, are you listening? No, Marsha's got to be. I'm only kidding. I love you, Marsha. I really do. So, how much time do I have?
You have around, let's see, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
times
Plus
10.
my song.
That's including time for your song.
Outstanding.
So you have 5 total talk minutes right now.
Outstanding. Good. 5 minutes. What would you like to say to your listeners out there, Stephen?
Well, the whole entire reason we started AccountingWise, we wanted to help veterans. We've done a lot of, soul searching. And before, we was just a company about, helping others and making profits. But we wanted to do something more for our community. So this year, we are donating 10% of all of our profits, our net profits, to the Wounded Warrior Project
Wow.
at the end of the year.
Wow.
And so we look forward to that and see what we can do for some of those wounded veterans out there.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
10% is a hefty amount of money.
It is. It is.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
sound impressive, but
you know,
people that run their own business, they realize that's a hefty amount of money.
It is, because you got to consider all the things operational wise that you got to take into account for. But we believe that being humble and helping others is going to be our calling through this business. So absolutely, it's all about helping people. At the end of the day, that's all that we care about.
Accounting-wise, your company, you do individual taxes, but you also do corporations and companies and whatnot.
Corporations and
because there's a bunch of guys out there running their own businesses, or being in business for themselves or running somebody else's business, that are always looking for competent help, always looking for somebody. Especially now, I'm a businessman, but I know only my P&L, and I know only my AP and AR. That's all I really care about.
right.
At the end of the day, I want to turn to the bookkeeper, I want to turn to the accountant, I want to turn to the CPA and go, are my books all right? How much money do I really have?
Right.
Because when you've reached that level of doing business, you really need to have an expert doing these things for you.
Absolutely.
Stephen, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for the service for your country. I want to thank you for what you're doing for the Wounded Warriors Project.
Thank you.
I want to invite you back. You come in here, something new happens next year with more taxes, come on back. We want to hear from it.
Absolutely. Maybe we can make this a yearly thing.
We can make this a yearly thing. Veterans Air, we try to pick a topic every month, and we like to do interviews. We like to get people on the air. Otherwise, it's just me talking, and I love to talk. I do love to talk.
Hey, we love to listen.
They pay for me to talk
You
and
like to
listen.
act like I'm not here.
You're supposed to be the straight guy. You know that, right?
What? What are you talking about?
Whambo.
Yeah, you're the straight guy. I'm the comic relief. You're the straight guy.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm ready to wrap
I thought
it
you
up,
were the
right?
cookie guy.
I have my cookie.
Yeah, you're the cookie guy.
I have my cookie. Cookies and muffins are from Starbucks inside of Kroger's on Loop 336 today. I don't know if they're any good guys, but I got you muffins. I did get you muffins because Dangerous Dan, the Muffin Man, said we need muffins.
Judging by the fact that they couldn't make an Americana coffee
Yeah,
outside of 15 minutes.
yeah, 15 minutes waiting for two cups of coffee. Nothing special, just cups of coffee. I mean, seriously? Then that's why I'm a little off today. All right, I'm about out of town.
Got our coffee.
Yeah, Dick's telling me I'm about town, so I have to wrap this up. That about wraps up our show. Remember, tune in May 7th at 1 p.m. because we're going to have Tony and Cheryl from the Legal Connection on the show. They're going to do their show, and then we're going to segment right into our show here on the Lone Star Community Radio Station. We're going to be talking death and taxes and what you need to know if you're a surviving spouse. So don't miss that. That's going to be really, really interesting. This topic came to us from our good friend BJ, who's out on the road with her grandkiddies, I believe, this week. Thanks for the heads up, BJ. And before we go, I want to leave you with this awesome song by Sailor Jerry. The title of the song is Strong, and I want you, Sailor Jerry. Be strong. You're going to get through this. You can download that song from our website or at sailorjerrymusic.com, of course. And while we're listening to this, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that are today standing in harm's way, and they stand for our freedoms and our liberties. If you are wearing the uniform, I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say I'm proud of you. Until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
I am a soldier and I'm marching on.
tattoo on the back of his arm saying 65. I've been to hell and back, but I'm still alive. It's those 18 months holding tough in that desert sun. It's a mama waiting back home with the little ones. Strong comes from endless places. Strong is in many faces. Strong's fighting back when you're just holding on. Strong is an inner battle. Strong is a horse and saddle. Strong's when you fall, but you get back on and on and on. That's strong. She has a scar on her chest from that surgeon's knife. She might have lost her hair, but she kept her alive. It's hard to keep the faith when your body's the battlefield. It's a pain no one can see, but it still feels real. Strong comes from endless places. Strong is in many faces. Strong's fighting back when you're just holding on. Strong is an inner battle. Yeah, it's a horse and saddle. Strong's when we fall, but we get back on and on and on. That's strong. It's the boys in blue who give their all. It's a folded flag for a father's son.